Hi, I'm Sue Page. Today I want to share a little bit of my background. People have asked me what makes me qualified to talk to you. And other than the fact that my husband died, and so I am a widow and I've gone through a lot, I also facilitate a group at my local church for the Central Florida community. And in that, I talk about the topics that I'm going to talk to you about. And one of the things I tell everybody is a story of how I started getting involved in running a grief forum. I'm in my fourth year now, and I've met over 100 widows and widowers doing this work. But I can tell you that my pastor suggested that I start a grief ministry. And I thought, what the heck is a grief ministry? I really thought a ministry was this big word, and I hadn't even joined the church yet. But I was searching for a church to join. I did end up joining this church where I facilitate the grief forum. But he mentioned it probably 3 months after Greg died, and I was nowhere ready to start a grief forum. I thought I could barely take care of myself. And I like to write books, and I was working on a book about employee performance, but I couldn't get back into it after my husband died. And I had written probably 5 chapters before he died, so I was kind of upset that I couldn't find my voice again. So I was just deciding, what should I do? I wasn't really sure. So I was going for a walk one Sunday. It was in January. It was freezing outside. Yes, it does get cold in Central Florida. And I was walking down my street and I was talking to God, like, what is it you want me to do? Why can't I get back into this book? I mean, that is what my life is about. I have to fulfill my life now that I don't have Greg any longer. And so as I was talking to God and walking down the street, I said to him, you know, if you want me to do this ministry thing, whatever that is, then you need to throw a golf ball at me or something. I actually said those words. I walked just probably a couple 100 feet, turned the corner, and it was freezing out, and the wind started blowing. So I turned around and headed back towards home. And the minute I turned the corner, right in the middle of the sidewalk was a golf ball. I'm telling you, that was pretty creepy. So I thought, all right, I guess this is what you want me to do. Where it came from, I'm not sure. I looked around. There was nobody playing golf. So I thought, okay, this is somehow a message. He's answering what I just asked like 2 seconds ago. So walking home, I decided, well, what would I do? What would a ministry really look like? So I came up with 8 topics by the time I got home, which was 1 mile. And the 8 topics formed the crux of the grief forum that I facilitate. And I started writing out the first topic and trying to blow it out a little bit. The first topic I came up with was how long, because everybody wonders how long is grief going to last. So I blew out what I would talk about a little bit more. And I decided not to do any more until I called my pastor. So I called him on Monday. Honestly, I didn't think he'd remember me. And I said, this is Sue Page. And he said, hi, are you ready to go? And I'm like, you remember me? He said, of course I do. You already started your ministry. And I said, I don't know if it's ministry. What I'm thinking is what you're thinking. And he said, well, why don't we come in tomorrow and let's talk? That's how it started. And I would kind of write out what I was going to cover each week with the topics that I came up with on my walk home. And I would sit down with him and talk about them. And he said, you know what I like about your topic, Sue? Yours is so practical. And he said, he does a lot of grief counseling, is so psychological. So that's how I got started. And I decided after running sessions, dozens over 4 years, that's Greg's anniversary just occurred, I decided that I should put it down on paper. A lot of the widows and widowers that attended the sessions suggested that I do that. So that's why I did it. If it makes me qualified, so be it. But bottom line is I hope it helps you. Until next time.